A factory worker named Kaisi recently moved from Greenland to Denmark for a new job, unaware that his new apartment held a dark past. 7 years before, a 49-year-old man had been brutally attacked and lost his life right outside the apartment door. Soon after moving in, Kaisi began noticing strange occurrences, objects moving or falling to the floor without cause. He would hear eerie knocks on his door, and doors would slam shut on their own. One afternoon, he heard odd noises coming from within his apartment. Grabbing his phone, he started recording as he searched for the source. Suddenly, a door slammed shut right in front of him, giving him a massive scare. Though this moment had an odd hint of humor, the situation quickly turned more sinister. Not long after sunset another evening, Kaisi noticed the eerie happenings start again. A bit shaken, he picked up his phone to try capturing more evidence. While recording, he watched a cupboard door swing open by itself and his helmet slide across the floor. Determined to get answers, Kaisi decided to live stream from his apartment. He explained to viewers that he was struggling to sleep because of unexplained noises coming from the next room. Live on camera, items could be heard falling in the other room. When Kaisi went to investigate, he saw drawers sliding open on their own. Terrified, he fled the apartment, but as he looked up at his window from outside, he was shocked to see a shadowy figure standing inside, seemingly watching him. Could Kaisi's apartment be haunted by the spirit of the man who lost his life there? What do you think? In another eerie event captured by viewer Natalie Hint, she noticed a chilling detail in a live photo she took of her family at a scenic Utah lookout. Upon replaying the photos, she saw a bicycle speeding by in the background, completely riderless, with no one chasing it. Natalie was deeply unsettled by the strange sight. Meanwhile, viewer Stephen Figueroa shared his own experiences with the supernatural, recounting that he had witnessed paranormal events since he was 3. At 18, he managed to capture proof his iPod Touch recorded a trash can tipping over without explanation, followed by bags and suitcases mysteriously falling over. Years later, a picture frame in his home shook and even lifted, as if trying to escape the wall. His grandmother eventually cleansed the house, and he reported no further incidents in the 6 years since. Finally, viewer Paulus Hellander sent in a video from his family's remote farm in Finland. One night, while alone, he noticed a mysterious light on in their barn. This wasn't the first time it had happened, yet his family couldn't explain it. Summoning his courage, he ventured to the barn with his camera, hoping to catch some clue as to why the light kept turning on. In a chilling video, a man investigating strange noises at his barn captures something terrifying. A pale, undefined face staring through the window, watching him silently before vanishing into the night. Thankfully, whatever it was disappeared, leaving the man unharmed. But what do you think? Was it something paranormal or a real person lurking around the remote farm under the cover of darkness? Meanwhile, in Japan, a group of high school friends heard crying coming from the restroom during lunch. The eerie sound brought to mind the famous Japanese legend of Hanako-san, the spirit of a young girl rumored to haunt school bathrooms. Hesitant but curious, they decided to investigate, and what they found was terrifying. Just as they were about to leave, a loud bang drew them back, and they caught a horrifying glimpse, a distorted face of a young girl inside one of the restroom stalls. Screaming, they ran, and the video abruptly cuts off. Could they have encountered Hanako-san herself, or was it just an elaborate prank? In another story, a young girl who lives in a house from the 1800s claims it has always been haunted. Odd noises and footsteps echo through the halls at night. Tragically, her mother passed away in the home under mysterious circumstances. Her grandfather, convinced that something sinister lingered there, locked his bedroom, hid the key, and left, never to return. For 6 years the room remained sealed, until one day, the key mysteriously appeared on the living room table. Intrigued, the girl and her friends decided to explore the house, using a spirit box to communicate with whatever might be lurking. Just as they began, they heard an unsettling voice, and one of the friends, unaware, stepped out of the shower at the same moment, sending the group into a panic. But the most terrifying experience was still to come. Gathering their courage, they unlocked the grandfather's sealed room. Upon entering, they immediately felt dizzy and anxious. They jokingly questioned why Santa Claus was locked up, noticing an odd figurine in the room, but suddenly, one friend's back began to burn. Looking closer, they found scratch marks on his back, even though no one was near him. Shaken and horrified, the group left the room, convinced that something was terribly wrong with the house. They vowed to avoid the bedroom from now on. But what do you think? Is this house truly haunted? In a mysterious incident from Mexico, photographer Paco was waiting in his studio for his friend Eduardo when he heard Eduardo speaking loudly outside his open window. Curious, Paco checked his security camera to see what was happening, and the footage left him stunned. Although Eduardo swore he was talking to a man asking for directions, the camera only captured an eerie white mist and no sign of the man Eduardo described. So, did Eduardo have a ghostly encounter, or was it something else? Let me know what you think. In Wisconsin, Phil Koch, an amateur paranormal investigator, has been sharing eerie videos from his ghost hunting adventures for over 15 years. On one particular night, Phil and his teenage son were exploring the attic of a reportedly haunted house in West Allis. While checking for unusual temperature readings, they suddenly heard a whisper saying, "Go outside." The voice spooked them, but what followed truly shocked them. A chair seemed to slide out on its own. After reviewing the footage, viewers pointed out that something appeared to be sitting in the chair just before it moved. Terrified, Phil and his son bolted from the attic, leaving viewers to wonder, was there something lurking in that attic? In a haunted hospital, staff report that the spirit of a little girl wanders the halls at night. During a late-night shift in the cafeteria, several workers witnessed the automatic doors opening and closing by themselves. Then, as the doors shut, a small dark figure seemed to walk by on the other side, yet it didn't trigger the sensors. Could this be the spirit of the little girl who allegedly haunts the hospital? I'll let you decide. In Madison, Ohio, two teams of paranormal investigators set out to explore the Madison Seminary, a historic building with a dark past. Built in 1847, it has served as a school, hospital, asylum, and even housing for families grieving the loss of soldiers. Many believe the building is haunted by the spirits of past residents, including a reportedly hostile doctor who is said to attack anyone brave enough to enter. Early into their investigation, one of the team members, Mandy, noticed something strange. Investigator Steve had a bright red mark on the back of his neck which seemed to appear out of nowhere. Although Steve didn't feel any pain at the time, the red mark's sudden appearance left the team spooked. Undeterred, they continued to explore the building's upper floors, where the hostile spirit of the doctor is believed to reside. In a spine-chilling investigation at Madison Seminary, a group of paranormal researchers experienced an eerie voice calling out "Doctor" from the attic. Moments after the word appeared on their ghost box, a small dark figure darted across the hallway in the background. Interestingly, the figure wasn't noticed by the team until they reviewed the footage later. Could they have caught the spirit of the vengeful doctor on camera? You decide. You can watch the full investigation on the Ghost Club Paranormal YouTube channel. Across the ocean in Manchester, England, Claire Mills was startled when her Ring camera notified her of movement in her front yard late one night. Checking the footage, she saw a strange white mist dart down her driveway before vanishing into thin air. Claire has no idea what it could be but wonders if she might have captured a ghost on camera. In Mexico, a security guard named Rivera, working the night shift at a supermarket in Torreon, had a strange experience on New Year's Eve. Bored and recording a video of himself, he was interrupted by an unsettling event. Something seemed to move behind him. A few nights later, around 3:20 a.m., Rivera thought he saw someone lurking in the store from the corner of his eye, even though he was alone. Nervous, he started recording, hoping to catch a glimpse of the intruder. His footage shows a shadowy figure trailing behind him. Then, a week later, Rivera spotted a little girl wandering outside the store late at night, but she disappeared before he could approach. This odd encounter led many viewers to speculate that the little girl's ghost might be behind the eerie happenings. Months passed without incident until one. Could Rivera's supermarket be haunted by the spirit of a playful but restless young girl? Or is there a more rational explanation for these mysterious events? Let me know what you think.